Why was Elvis Presley's autopsy sealed for 50 years? Or was it? And is Vernon the one who ordered it sealed? When Elvis died in August 1977, it was a shock to the world and to everyone that knew him, including former girlfriend Linda Thompson.
And my brother, Sam, picked up the phone and said, "Linda, you need to come back to Memphis." I said, "Sam, just tell me he's not dead, right? He's in the hospital, he's not." And he said, "You need to come back home. He's gone." It was just like the world stood still. I mean, how many of you remember that day and where you were?
Rumors have been floating around for years among fans and in the media that Elvis Presley's autopsy will be released in 2027, which is the 50th anniversary of his death. But in this video, we'll explain why those rumors are wrong. On August 16, 1977, Elvis was found unconscious in his bathroom at Graceland by his then-girlfriend Ginger Alden at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Lisa Marie was frantic when she found out something was wrong with her father. "They took him out on a stretcher and I started screaming that I wanted him, that I needed him," Lisa described. "And I started kicking and punching whoever was holding me back, trying to get away from them, but they wouldn't let me go." Elvis was taken by ambulance to Baptist Memorial Hospital. Through attempts to revive him were unsuccessful, he was pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. The details of Presley's death are still confusing to this day of what exactly he died from.
Elvis Presley died today. He was 42. Apparently it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis, not breathing. His road manager tried to revive him. He failed. A hospital tried to revive him. It failed.
Even though his death was officially ruled as a heart attack, most people believe that it was from prescription drug use. But in the past 5 decades since Elvis's death, there have been several other alternative theories as to why he suddenly died at the young age of 42. We will discuss these different theories later in the video. Even more confusing is the theory about the autopsy and why it was sealed. Dr. Nick, Elvis's personal physician during the 1970s, was in the room when the autopsy was performed on Elvis.
I watched it.
You watched it?
I watched it. You know how hard that was.
The state of Tennessee did not do an official autopsy because Presley's official cause of death, ruled as a heart attack, was due to natural causes. In that case, an official autopsy is not required. But because Elvis's death was so sudden, Dr. Nick urged Vernon to request a private autopsy for the family so they could understand what exactly happened to Elvis. This autopsy was performed as a collaboration between the coroner's office of Shelby County and Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis and started just hours after Elvis was pronounced dead. The 8 p.m. press conference the night of August 16, Dr. Jerry Francisco, the Shelby County coroner, declared that Elvis had died from a heart attack.
The preliminary phases of the autopsy have been completed, and the cause of death is cardiac arrhythmia due to undetermined causes.
The theory that Presley's autopsy will be released to the public in 2027 is not true. The 2-page medical examiner's report stating that Presley died from cardiovascular disease was released to the public. However, the full autopsy report, which could run up to 50 pages or more, is the private property of the Presley family, and therefore is not required to be released to the public without the family's consent. Countless stories of Elvis's abuse of prescription drugs in the book, Elvis What Happened, written by 3 of Presley's bodyguards, helped fuel the belief that Elvis had actually died from prescription drugs, not a heart attack. That is why the release of the autopsy report is of so much interest to the public. When the book was first released on August 1, 1977, it was not that popular since fans believed it was full of lies. However, after Presley's sudden death, the book became a bestseller as it seemed to help answer the public's questions about how Presley could die suddenly at such a young age. As Dr. Nick explained, there has been a debate between different toxicology reports as to whether the prescription drugs found in Elvis's body had an effect on causing his death.
There were 2 conclusions. One pathologist at the one hospital thought that his death was due to what he called polypharmacy, and the coroner, who also had the benefit of watching the autopsy and who had gotten all the toxicology reports and still felt that none of the drug levels were high enough to contribute to his death.
However, even after getting the full toxicology results in October 1977, Dr. Francisco stuck with his finding that a heart attack was Presley's cause of death, stating, "Had these drugs not been there, Elvis still would have died." Although never officially confirmed, the perception that Elvis died as a result of drug abuse is cemented in the public psyche. So, if the family never decides to release Elvis's autopsy report, will anything be released in 2027? Yes. 50 years after his death, Elvis Presley's death certificate, which contains the official cause of death, will be made public, according to Tennessee law. However, Elvis's cause of death, as stated by Dr. Francisco, was already released in the 2-page medical examiner report, so the public will not really learn anything new. In 2015, Dr. Richard Shepard, a forensic pathologist, re-examined Presley's death. While admitting that there were many things physically wrong with Elvis at that point in time, Shepard claims that Elvis died as a result of straining on the toilet. Quote, "Straining to go to the toilet when he was constipated caused the change in blood flow, caused his heart to fail at that moment, and he collapsed and he died." In 2013, Dr. Forrest Tennant refuted the idea that Presley died from drug use. Tennant actually reviewed the autopsy report while defending Dr. Nick during his court case, where he was later acquitted of overprescribing drugs. In 1981, I was the major medical expert defense witness for Elvis Presley's physician, George Nikolopoulos, in his criminal trial, Tennant explained. As a result, I still have all of his medical records. Tennant wrote a medical paper explaining that Elvis was suffering from an autoimmune inflammatory disorder, which he believed was caused by a traumatic brain injury Elvis sustained in 1967 when he tripped over a TV cord at his home in Los Angeles. His head hit the bathtub and Elvis was knocked unconscious. He later woke up with a huge lump on his head. According to Tennant, the injury was so severe that it caused brain tissue to dislodge and seep into his blood circulation. Tennant stated in his paper that, quote, "A new belief is that head trauma causes brain tissue to be jarred loose and leak into the general circulation through the blood-brain barrier. Brain tissue is not supposed to enter the blood circulation because it is toxic or antigenic to the rest of the body," unquote. Autoimmune conditions are known to cause most of the symptoms Elvis displayed, including chronic pain, irrational behavior, obesity, and enlarged and diseased organs like his heart and colon. "My retrospective review of his autopsy findings," Tennant explained, "when paired with his medical history of multi-organ abnormalities over a 10-year period, clearly reveals that Elvis was suffering from an autoimmune inflammatory disorder." So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video to help this channel grow. For more fascinating facts about Elvis, pick up one of Trina Young's 4 Elvis books. Read a free excerpt at elvisbiography.net. Please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for notifications of future videos. And keep watching more Elvis videos here.